Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Dre in the Kitchen. So this is part two, or not part two, I'll say this is the second episode of me debunking and remaking the keto meals that are available from Pruvit. Now, I've had several people in my inbox go ahead and ask me, hey, is there a way that you can do these at a much more affordable price? And I was like I said in the first video, challenge accepted, so let's go. Today, we're gonna record chicken with cauliflower and cheese sauce. The original is chicken with broccoli and cauliflower, but I'm obsessed with cauliflower. So let me show you the different things that you can do with this recipe. Join me in the kitchen. So now let's talk a little bit about the ingredients of what you're gonna need. I have one large chicken breast, which was these at Sam's Club, they're like ginormous. I've pre-sliced them out to measure about 5 ounces per fillet. So we have that done, put that to the side, it's sliced, it's ready. Now let's talk about the cauliflower. Of course, we have the traditional, I see the white cauliflower. I went to Sprouts, and I love Sprouts here in Orlando because they come in purple, they come in orange, and if you're lucky enough to find Romanesco, what the heck is a Romanesco? If you ever see a green cauliflower with little spikes, we call them fractals, that's a Romanesco. Delicious. So, in addition to that, we have some heavy cream. I'm using 3 cheeses, cheddar, Parmesan, and Gruyere. Gruyere is a beautiful Swiss because it's a great melting cheese, plus a couple of spices, and I'm gonna turn this into Dre's version of delicious chicken with cauliflower and cheese sauce. The original recipe calls for broccoli, but like I said, I'm obsessed with cauliflower, so I'm gonna make it my way. Let's get cooking. So we're gonna start grating the cheeses. We're gonna take probably, I'm gonna do a double batch of the cauliflower so that you can save this cheese sauce and use it in a variety of ways. So we're gonna go ahead and grate our Gruyere. Next, we're gonna grate the cheddar. So this is my little trick. I keep a piece of parchment on here and then you just grate. I'm probably doing just about 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces of each cheese. And you can use or save as much as you like. Next, onto Parmesan. If you love cheese the way I love cheese, oh my goodness, the smells and the aromas. Now I'm taking my Parmigiano Reggiano and I'm just gonna grate a little bit in here. This is gonna add a beautiful nuttiness and saltiness that I think is necessary in any cheese sauce. All right, so let's do the first part. Let's blanch our cauliflower. What does that mean? I have a pot here. I'm filling it up with with water. We're gonna bring this to a boil. We're gonna add some salt. Add in probably like a good teaspoon of salt. Let that come to a quick boil and we'll blanch it. So that means we're just gonna soften the cauliflower. We're not gonna cook it completely through because we want it to finish cooking with the cheese sauce, which is going to be dynamite. All right, now that our water is starting to bubble, it's coming to its boil, let's add in our cauliflower. Now be very careful because this will jump all over the place. So try and put it in closely. And I'm gonna leave the bowl on the side because we're gonna let this steep for about a good 3 to 4 minutes. All right, so it took almost 7 minutes for these to actually become beautifully what I call al dente. So I have my trusty bowl here with a strainer so that all the water goes down to the bowl and doesn't really stay in my cauliflower. So I'm gonna move this to the side, bring out the next pan, and let's go and create our cheese sauce because then the final component is we'll cook our chicken, which will take less than 5 minutes. Now let's start with the cheese sauce. I have my pot heating up. We're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. Hear that beautiful, beautiful sizzle? I love it, I love it, I love it. Then to this, so we're making enough of a cheese sauce to last us more than just 1 day. We're gonna add in, I would say about 1/4 cup of heavy cream. I'm going to season, I'll wait till the end. Usually I was gonna say I'll season with some salt, but we're adding cheeses that have additional salt. So let's add the cheeses at the very, very end. I do have a small whisk to help me throughout this process. So you don't want this to boil, because if it boils, it could cause your cheese sauce to break apart, which is, I looked at the ingredients in the Pruvit, and they have a component in there that helps against that from happening. So to this, because I'm obsessed and I love it, I'm adding 1 heaping tablespoon of creme fraiche. If you have sour cream, fantastic. If you do not and you have full fat Greek yogurt, that is also delicious because it'll add a beautiful dose is what I was trying to say. There we go. So I'm lowering it down so it's a slight bubble. So you have a choice. You can use white pepper. I'm going to use black pepper here. This is my peppercorn melange. And then I'm going to add the cheese little by little. So I'm lowering this down so that we have an opportunity to melt the cheese. Because you don't want it to break on you. But this is going to come out absolutely delightful. Mix it all together. Do this in little stages, as you can see. Oh, okay, well, I guess I wanted to all go in there. So let's just add a little more in there. Keep it moving. This cheese sauce can last in your refrigerator for I've had it last me up to a week. You can add this to chicken. You can add this to a whole bunch of variety of different things. But continue to stir because you want all of that cheese to beautifully melt. Keep stirring, stir. Look at how gorgeous. I do have some spoons on the side because like I always say, you need to taste your food. You don't want this to boil because if it boils, it runs the risk of separating. If you want it thicker, you can add a little more cheese. I like it a little bit on the runny side, which is fantastic. So let's taste this and see if it needs any salt. It does not need salt at all. Oh, that's delicious. 2 cream sauces. This is not in Pruvit's recipe, but I just think it's going to elevate a cream sauce. It's literally a dash of freshly ground nutmeg. Just a little tiny bit. And to give it a little bit of heat, we're going to put espelette, which is my beautiful pepper. It's going to add just a little bit of heat. And I literally mean just a little bit of heat. To that, I'm also going to add a little bit. This is my choice. You can omit this. It does not have to go in, but I love a little bit of smoked paprika. It just adds beautiful notes in there. Look at how gorgeous that sauce is. Turn your heat off. I'm gonna put this to the side and we're ready to make our chicken and put it all together. All right, let's now cook the chicken. So this is, as I mentioned earlier, I had a massive chicken breast. I sliced it, I measured out, they're about 5 ounces each. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-cook. I'm gonna cook all of them so that way I have it for an additional meal. It can come for chicken. There's a snack that has chicken in it. If you don't wanna cook chicken the following day, but you just wanna cook your vegetable, you could do that as well. So I'm seasoning with salt, a little bit of pepper. And then to my pan, I'm only gonna put about 1.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. That's it. You don't need anything else. It will cook in that beautiful fat. Put it seasoned side down, and then we will season the top. Now because I sliced these thinly, they're not gonna take very long to cook. So you do have to pay attention. And of course, we're gonna season the backside. I add pepper. I love adding pepper. So with the size, I would recommend, of course, every pan is different, but no more than 3 minutes per side. Anything more than that, it might even take a little less, will overcook your chicken breast and make it very tough. We don't want it tough, we want it to remain nice and juicy. So what if you don't like chicken? Ivan does not eat chicken. So I have boneless pork chops that I will make in its place, but we'll also have the cauliflower with the cheese sauce. So look at this, I can already tell it's starting to brown beautifully. Leave it alone. You're gonna be tempted to constantly play with this and flip it. Let it do its thing. You want a beautiful crust on the bottom, and it's going to come out delicious, I promise you. But don't walk away from it because you don't want it to burn either. All right, so it has taken exactly almost 6.5 minutes to cook this. So how do you know if your chicken is done? First of all, you can poke it with a knife, and if you get clear juices, you know it's done. If it comes out pink, it needs a couple of seconds more. If you have a meat thermometer, stick it into the thickest part of your chicken, and it should read between 160 to okay, I kind of touched the pot, but between 160, you can take it off the heat because there will be carryover heat. But the proper cooking temperature for chicken is 165 degrees. So I'm taking this out. Look at how beautiful. All right, perfect. Now let's just heat up that cauliflower and cheese sauce, and it's gonna be dynamite. All right, the final stretch. So I'm gonna add a little bit of a cheese sauce. I kind of put it in a container. It's here on the side. We're gonna just put a little bit on the bottom, just to coat. I had to taste it, it's so good. In goes your cauliflower. Now you can, I try not to use too much of the cheese sauce. I use just enough so that you coat all of your cauliflower. I think this is all I'm gonna need. It is absolutely beautiful. So imagine if you did the purple cauliflower, you did the orange. It's just dynamite. So let me plate this up and show you this gorgeous, gorgeous meal. So now we're putting it completely together. I want you to take a look at this because this is probably, I think I might have put just a little more cauliflower than what's in the serving. But if you add broccoli to this, by all means, it's gonna look, but does this not look beautiful? And it smells so good. So before we taste test, let's break down the numbers, shall we? Because you know, you guys asked, and therefore I'm gonna deliver. So the original cost of the Pruvit meal is $11.99. Now you can freeze this. They say you can have it, of course it can be frozen. It's delivered, I think it's delivered fresh, so you can leave it in your refrigerator up to several days. So that's available for you. Now you can prepare these meals ahead of time. Again, I'll put in the description below the containers that I order off of Amazon. Makes a massive, massive difference. But $11.99 for the portion, and I did see my pictures of it, not very appetizing. So my cost of making this is exactly $6.88 for this portion. If you add a little more vegetables, it might increase it a little bit by a couple of cents. Now, of course, I used all organic and of course quality, high quality ingredients. Not to say that other ingredients are not high quality or good enough, but depending on what your budget is, I want you to know that you can modify this and turn it into what you need for yourself. So $11.99 versus $6, what did I say? $6.88. I don't know about y'all, but I think I'm gonna eat this. So I already know what this chicken tastes like. I won't lie, I had a little piece before. It is absolutely delicious. All I did was salt and pepper. If you want to add a little garlic powder, go for it. Customize this to what you want it to be. But no, affordable, eating on keto low carb does not have to be super expensive. Of course, if you're going fully organic, everything organic does have a higher price because they are treated differently. But if you want something that's simple, that you can sustain, and sometimes affordability is a key factor, then go ahead and continue following. Make sure you comment, you subscribe, share this out, because I will debunk all of these recipes and promise to break them down for you in a more affordable manner. If you want to do the meal service that they offer, by all means, but if it's too much for you, then come on back to Drain the Kitchen and I will continue to teach you and show you more affordable options when you're keto low carb. So until next time, friends, I'll talk to you later. Now I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, but I promise you, I'm gonna do something really bad. I'm gonna use my fingers. I'm in my house, it's okay. That's the cauliflower. Slight little crunch. The cheese sauce is delicious. Y'all, I gotta go. I gotta eat this. See you next time.